Welcome back to another lesson with me, your teacher, Mrs. A. Now, for today, we are going to be going over the continuation of your first lesson, the Americanization of Guam. So, just to confirm, this is third quarter, lesson 1.2. Okay, so what did you guys learn last time? So, you guys learned how the US Navy captured Guam from the Spanish soldiers. Then you learned about the first and second naval governors of Guam, Richard Leary and Seton Schroeder. And then you also learned about some important changes that these governors made to the island during their term. So for this PowerPoint lesson, you're going to learn about the important changes that occurred on the island while the US Navy was in control of Guam. Now, there are a lot of changes that happened, but I'm only going to talk about a few or the ones that I feel were most important or significant. Okay, so let's talk about the first change, which is basically the oldest business on Guam. So in 1913, which is a long time ago, the Navy Department asked a company that was based in California to open up a branch in Guam to compete with the Japanese. So of course, during this time, everyone was worried about who was the most powerful in the world, and they all wanted to compete with each other to be the most powerful and the richest country. So of course, the United States, as always, wanted to be the richest country in the world. So they wanted to compete with the Japanese. So in 1914, that company agreed to move to Guam and open up their business. Now, this company specialized in trading and wanted to start trading within the Pacific region. So they were trading with other countries and they wanted to expand their territory, so they came to Guam. Today, more than 100 years later, that company still stands but now sells vehicles. And that company is Atkins Kroll Company. But as you guys probably know, it's AK Toyota in Tamuning, where your dad probably bought his awesome Tacoma truck. But yeah, so the oldest business on Guam is AK or Atkins Kroll, but they just sell vehicles now. So they're the first business to ever distribute and sell the first cars on the island. Okay, now the first bank. In 1916, the Navy established the very first bank on the island, the Bank of Guam. That's my bank. Now, the bank loaned money to the local businessmen, helping the Chamorros start their own businesses. Because that's what the bank does, they loan out money, and basically that's how they make their money when you pay them back and the interest they get from you. About 150 children opened up their own savings account, teaching the young people of Guam the importance of saving money. So, of course, when the U.S. Navy came to the island and took over, they introduced U.S. currency. So they taught the Chamorro people the meaning of a bank and saving and the importance of what the American dollar is. So yes, the first bank on the island is the Bank of Guam. Also, side note, I'm not promoting the Bank of Guam. I'm just, saying that they're the first bank and they're a really good bank. Okay, next. The first Guam Congress. Now, Governor Roy Smith set up the first Guam Congress in 1917. Now, what's important about this Congress is that this Congress could only give advice to the naval governor, unlike a regular Congress, which makes laws and can approve who the president is and impeach and all that other good stuff that the Congress does. This first Guam Congress sadly couldn't do that. They can just give advice to the governor, and if the governor liked their advice, then he would take them on it. Now, this Guam Congress couldn't make laws, but this was a step in the right direction to the Chamorro people governing themselves. Now, the Guam seal, the famous Guam seal that you see everywhere, and all the Guam flags. And when you go to the States, everyone has a big Guam flag and a Guam seal sticker on their car. Now, this, with the governor that approved it was Governor Roy Smith, and he approved the very first Guam seal in 1917. Now, here's what the colors and the pictures on the Guam seal mean. So the flag is dark blue, and that reminds us of the sea. And, Chamorros, the ancient Chamorros especially, and the Chamorros today, they rely on the ocean. It is their livelihood. They respect the ocean. They praise the ocean. it gives them their food. It's what they traveled on to get to Guam. Now, the shape is the Chamorro slingstone. So you can see here follow my cursor, this shape here of the actual Guam seal, that is the shape of the Chamorro slingstone. Then the canoe in the background, it represents the Chamorros who bravely discovered the island over 4,000 years ago. Then the coconut tree, it's the most useful plant tree to the Chamorros. It gives them the food, and they can create shelter with it, and clothing and utensils, and it is also so strong that it can withstand a typhoon, so it also represents the strength of the Chamorros. And then the cliff line in the background, it shows or displays and represents the importance of the island of Guam to the Chamorros. Okay, and that's it for today. I didn't want to go too deep into all the changes. I just wanted to let you get a step into all the changes that were made to the island. And then next class, I will continue this PowerPoint, but then I'll also go into more detail into what the rest of the governors accomplished while they were governors. So it'll be the continuation again of this lesson, and it'll be lesson 1.3. Okay, guys, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my lesson. And after watching this video, please go directly to your assessment so that the information is still fresh in your brains. And then I'll see you again next Monday.